Chido.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to Studio de Jefre, where today we continue our countdown to Cowboys camp. The topics of discussion today, cornerbacks and safeties. Let's do the secondary, baby. So here's where I want to start with you. Secondary to me is one of the most interesting things to break down on this year's Cowboy team as we count down to Cowboys camp. What are we, like 4 days away from everybody reporting? So this is one of the most fascinating groups and competitions that we're going to have in Cowboy camp this year. I will reference a year ago the number of guys they kept to try to have our best guess at what they could do this year. So last year was a little bit weird, but they kept 5 corners. Some of us thought they might keep 6, but they kept 5 on final cutdown day. And they kept 5 safeties. Probably because Donovan Wilson was hurt and was going to miss a few weeks, and they kept Kayvon Frazier, probably for that purpose, maybe. Or maybe they were going to keep 10 guys regardless. But 10 guys in the secondary. So that's going to be our starting point, is we're going to look for the 10 most likely guys to make the Cowboys. That's going to be our starting point. 10 guys. So let's start with the guys that are no-doubters. I'll break them down into they're in, they're likely in, they may be in, and they'll have to super impress in camp to get in. That's kind of going to be my category. So at corner, Chido's in. Now, we can get into a whole nother discussion if we talk about the idea that's been kicked around of moving him to safety, but for now, I'm going to call him a corner, and I'm going to call him a starter because he is the most established guy on the team between him and Anthony Brown, but Anthony Brown may not start. Jordan Lewis may take that job, or maybe they'll have none of the shorter corners as a starter, but Chido, I'm saying, is in. Anthony Brown was brought back on a multi-year deal. Anthony Brown is in. Jordan Lewis, I'm saying, in. Trevon Diggs, rookie, second-round pick out of Alabama, in, and I think he'll start. So I think what we're looking at, pending if you move Chido, but for now I will say your starting left cornerback is Chido. Your starting right cornerback is Trevon Diggs, where Byron Jones was a year ago. And I'll go Jordan Lewis starting in the slot because I think he can win that competition. I've been a big Jordan Lewis fan for a long time. I like Anthony Brown too, but Jordan Lewis gives you more potential boom in your secondary in terms of sacks, tackles for loss, interceptions, maybe more of a risk taker. But I think this defense might welcome that more than the previous regime did. And by the way, I just noticed what hat I have on. Don't worry, it's not an OU hat, okay? I know there's probably a lot of Texas and A&M and Horned Frogs and Baylor Bears and Arkansas Razorbacks and Oklahoma State Cowboys, whatever. No, that's not an OU hat. This is a CeeDee Lamb hat. It's a Cowboy hat. Just supporting the first-round pick there. So Chido, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Trevon Diggs, in. Those are your 4 corners that are in. And feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Give me the guys that you think make this team in the secondary and anybody that you're pulling for. Also, of course, you can leave in the comments, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh, what you want to hear about tomorrow. And make sure you mash that thumbs up button. I certainly appreciate it. Subscribe to the page. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a video. I love previewing the Cowboys season before we even get to camp. Chido, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Trevon Diggs, in. And maybe there could be a shocker there. Because if you look at what they did this offseason, everybody that they added in the draft and free agency other than Anthony Brown, they're kind of built the same. Over 6 foot, 200 pounds. It's kind of what they got. My next 2 guys, I'm saying 6 corners likely are in. Reggie Robinson II, Tulsa, 4th-round pick, right? 4th round? Yeah. Reggie Robinson, 6'1", 200 pounds. Every year that he stepped on the field at Tulsa, he blocked a kick. So you've got special teams ability, 4 interceptions, 13 passes defensed last year at Tulsa. 4'4" guy with the speed. At the combine, good jumps, solid shuttles. So really athletic dude, size, some ball production his last year there at Tulsa. I'm saying Reggie Robinson likely in. And Darryl Worley, likely in. This is 5th year in the league, 49 NFL starts, started 15 games last year, 5 career interceptions, 34 career passes defensed. Daryl Worley's a nice guy to have around in case somebody's slipping and you want to have a veteran presence that you think can step in and play. So I think Daryl Worley, likely in. That's 6 corners. Maybe in. CJ Goodwin, special teams guy for this team. Those are the spots that I wonder how much turnover there will be. New special teams coach. Will he find his own guys amongst some of the new guys brought in and the draft picks that are going to be his special team guys? So CJ Goodwin, I'm saying maybe in. And Maurice Kennedy, maybe in. 5th year out of Virginia. 4 career starts. He's been banged up. 1 career interception. And then the guys who are going to have a lot of work to do is Chris Westry, the 2nd-year guy out of Kentucky. What's great about him is he's 6'4" and he runs a 4.3. That's freak show stuff. That's awesome. But you're also talking about tools when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 corners on the roster right now. I don't see whose job Chris Westry is going to take. And the other guy is Savion Smith, 2nd-year guy out of Alabama, 6'1", 200 pounds, just like all the other guys they brought in. Ran a 4.66 at his pro day a couple of years ago. Jumps weren't very good. Agilities weren't very good for a cornerback, so he's not super athletic. But he was a good player for Alabama in, 2018? He was a good player for Alabama, but it's a long way to go, I think, for Westry and Smith to try to make the roster. So, Chido, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Trevon Diggs, stop at the first 4. In. Reggie Robinson and Daryl Worley, likely in. CJ Goodwin, Maurice Kennedy, let's come back to that. They're my maybes. Safety. Xavier Woods and clinton-dix, in. Locks, right? Those guys are going to be your 2 starters unless you move Chido, which is going to throw off this whole thing, and we'll have to do another video. So, Woods in, Clinton-Dix in. I'm going to say Donovan Wilson, out of Texas A&M, who had a great preseason, great camp last year, and then was hurt and didn't get a lot of time on the field. But I'm going to say Donovan Wilson likely in as your 3rd safety. And that might be dangerous because Darian Thompson, a lot of special teams, coaches are going to like that. But again, Bones Fossil might just say, look, tell me which DBs are going to make this team, which wide receivers, which linebackers, and I'll know which one of those guys are my special teams guys. But I'm going to go Donovan Wilson, 3rd safety, likely in. 4th safety, if there is a 4th safety, which I've kept 6 corners, so for these purposes, well, we'll just see. Because the other 2 guys are Darian Thompson, and Luther Kirk is an undrafted free agent out of Illinois State, who I actually like his tape. I liked Luther Kirk's tape. I liked what he did at the Shrine game. He's an interesting player. If he's not on the team, I hope he's on the practice squad because I do. I think he's at the very least an interesting developmental guy that has some cover skills. Like he's got a little bit of everything. So now let's take it down to the brass tacks. We've named all the guys. Here's what your secondary looks like according to my Dallas Cowboys 2020 secondary preview. In. Chido, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Trevon Diggs, Xavier Woods, clinton-dix. That's 6 of my potentially 10 secondary players that are in. Likely in, according to me, Reggie Robinson II, Tulsa corner, Daryl Worley, your 6th corner, Donovan Wilson, your 3rd safety. That's 9. Leaves us with 1 more. For me, the guys who I listed as the maybes that are battling for that 1 spot, Darian Thompson, CJ Goodwin, Maurice Kennedy. I'd love to throw Luther Kirk in there. Because if we're going to keep 6 corners, I don't know if you're going to keep 7 corners. Again, we could move Chido, call him a safety, and then we could grab another one of these corners, and you could keep Kennedy or Goodwin or Westry or Savion Smith. But I'm keeping Chido at corner for now. I don't want to complicate this any more than I already have. So out of that battle, what I would say is it makes most sense that it's a 4th safety. So Darian Thompson to go with Clinton-Dix, Xavier Woods, and Donovan Wilson. And, yeah, Robinson and Worley were your 5th and 6th corners. And that's your 10 secondary guys. My pet cat, if you can't tell, the guy that I'm pulling for is Luther Kirk. I'd love to see him make the team. I like Luther Kirk. I like his agent. Nice guy. Talk to him. So that's the secondary for the Cowboys. That's it. That's it. Make sure you're checking back at youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh to see all the other position groups. We've already done wide receivers. Depending on when I post this, maybe I will have already done defensive line. Maybe I won't have. Yeah. Defensive line is going to be the one. It's going to go receiver, defensive line, this one. Yeah. Is that weird that I'm kind of programming on the fly because I'm going out of town, but I want to queue them up? Am I giving you guys way too much information right now? Leave in the comments your favorite vegetable. I just want to see how many people made it this far to where I'm clearly rambling. All right, I love you guys. Be on the lookout for the other position groups, all right?